Once upon a time, in the ancient city of Pylos, there lived a legendary king named Nestor of Gyrnia. Despite his old age, Nestor was revered and respected for his wisdom and experience in battle. He was depicted in Homer's Iliad and Odyssey as an elderly warrior who often offered long-winded advice to other characters. The palace of Nestor in Pylos, which was a Mycenaean-era palace, bears his name. However, there is no concrete evidence that Nestor was a real person. Some scholars speculated that Nestor was a combination of multiple historical figures or even a completely fictional character made by Homer. Regardless, Nestor's character symbolized wisdom and guidance in both epic poems. Many characters sought his advice, and he was highly respected for his knowledge of ancient customs and traditions. Overall, Nestor's character is a fascinating and enduring example of the significance of wisdom and experience in Greek mythology. His legacy lived on through the Palace of Nestor, which bears his name and remains a tourist attraction to this day. Once upon a time, there was a wise and brave king named Nestor who ruled over Pylos. He was famous for his heroic deeds and his ability to speak eloquently. In fact, he fought alongside the Achaeans in the Trojan War and displayed selfless courage along with his sons Antilochus and Thrasymedes. Despite his elderly age, Nestor's advice was highly respected. He was even instrumental in reconciling Agamemnon and Achilles. Even though he was too old to fight, he led the Pylian troops in battle, though he sadly lost one of his beloved horses to the Trojans. Even so, his presence on the battlefield was highly regarded, due to his solid gold shield and his epithet as the Gerenian horseman. The story of Nestor continued in the Odyssey, when Telemachus, the son of Odysseus, visited Nestor seeking information about his father. Nestor warmly welcomed Telemachus, but unfortunately was unable to help him. During his visit, Telemachus met Nestor's family, including his wife Eurydice, his two daughters Pisidice and Polycaste, as well as his remaining living sons, Echephron, Stratius, Aretus, Thrasymedes, and Pisistratus. Interestingly, Nestor had also lived 3 generations by the favor of Apollo, the years which the god had taken from Chloris and her brothers. This was a remarkable feat, and it only added to Nestor's esteemed reputation. Nestor, the iconic figure of Greek mythology, was renowned for his advice-giving abilities. His reputation preceded him, and people came seeking his counsel from far and wide. But as Homer's portrayal shows, Nestor was not above a little bit of humor and irony. In Iliad, Nestor's advice always came with a story about his own heroic deeds. He couldn't resist fawning over his own glory, even when he was trying to help others. This tendency of his was apparent in the Odyssey as well, where his hospitality overwhelmed Telemachus, who was soon itching to go home. But Nestor's counsel wasn't always sound. Karl Reinhardt noted that Nestor forced Patroclus to go disguise himself as Achilles, which turned out to be a disastrous decision. However, despite the negative outcome, no blame was placed on Nestor. This was because people in Iliad judged others solely on their personal characteristics, rather than the outcome of their actions. Despite his unhelpful counsel, Nestor was still considered a good counselor. His sweet words, his clear voice, and his voice that flowed sweeter than honey made him an excellent advisor. These inherent qualities were why people sought out his advice in the first place, and why he was still highly regarded despite his flaws.
Do you want to explore more Greek mythology stories? Who do you want to see featured next? Subscribe and leave a comment below to let me know. I'll see you in the next video.